Yo, 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 what is up, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Nonsense Nap here today to bring you another One Piece review of episodes 41 through 45, I believe. 41 through 45. To be honest, I can't really remember. No, that's kind of sad. Whatever though. Went to sleep last night, woke up, new morning. That's how it is sometimes. Thank God every day for it. Thank God every day for it. All right. So, getting to it. Yeah. Episode 41 through 45. You know, they was pretty good. Oh, let me back up. For those just viewing for the first time, this is essentially One Piece anime. I've already caught up in the series as far as with the manga. They're on chapter 917 currently, about to come out with 918 this week. But you know, I'm already aware of what's going on in the series. I'm pretty much just rewatching just to see if there's things that I missed, other foreshadowing that Oda put out there. So just trying to see like what all, you know, what all may or may not be there. But yeah. So again, like episodes 41 through 45 leaves off with Nami. From episode 40 pretty much pulling up, letting Arlong know, look, I'm here to kill you. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, that's a bold statement, especially from Nami. Like, I thought she was gonna say, you know, first time watching, I'm here to stop you. Like, nope. She said, I'm here to kill you, my guy. Like, I'm here to take you out. I'm like, that's crazy. You know, so I'm just kind of, you know, shocked that she said something like that. At the same time, you know, I'm kind of happy as well too. So pretty much in this episode, Luffy still plagued and harassed by that concrete that he stuck his foot in, but he finally gets broken free in this series of episodes. Zoro and Sanji finish off their guys. Zoro finished off Hatan. Sanji finishes off, I forget my man's name, but the guy with the ponytail, with a barrage of attacks. And, you know, we pretty much get to see Zoro and Sanji versus Arlong, and they're no match, excuse me. Zoro already being injured and hurt from his fight with Mihawk. Kind of like drained him a lot anyway, plus the damages, he wasn't fully healed, so that's, you know, that puts a damper on things. And then you also have Sanji with his fight against old boy. You know, he wasn't completely healthy as well either, coming from King and Pearl, you know, so he had those blows. But then also you had the fight with the Fishman, which, I mean, in water, you know, so to put him at a different level of expertise in that regard, but at the same time, the damage consumed was tenfold, you know, so it's just seeing that, you know, it shows like how the difference of what's the word here, stamina comes between like Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro. So I mean, not to say that Sanji and Zoro don't have great stamina, because they do. Luffy's just on another level, you know. So even at this particular point in time, we still see him at a different level early on in the series. But getting to it, Genzo and Nojiko, excuse me, pretty much help resuscitate Luffy by stretching his head outside the water, so this way he can kind of like maneuver around and talk in that way, because, you know, with a devil fruit, he can't swim, can't move. But I did find it odd that he was able to grab Nojiko's arm, seeing as though he shouldn't be able to do anything. But maybe it's because he was unconscious and then became conscious. So plus I feel like Oda was just trying to highlight to us like Luffy's alive, you know, so he's gonna make it, you know, type deal. But also with that as well, you know, Luffy, when he finally did get free, I mean, my man's came at Arlong with just non-stop attacks. You feel me? Like, he was making sure every hit I give you, I'm gonna make sure that does damage, and you know, you're gonna go down. And no doubt, you know, hit my man's with a bell, a leg whip, a pistol, and then hit him with Gatling and knocked him into Arlong Park, like the actual building itself. And I was like, man, you know what? Damn, Luffy, you did his damn thing. Hella combos with that. You feel me? Arlong got up, dusted himself off, said, Luffy, you better try again, type ish. So we was essentially looking forward for a good fight for episode 41. So 42, 43, kind of like rolls around. They're still going at it. But we're getting a little bit more understanding as far as like with Nami, even then, her hard effort as far as like trying to save Kokiyashi Village, even then with her hard effort is trying to like, buy back again the village and the people itself and just put Bellamir's spirit to rest. She would still be enslaved to Arlong and them because of how much hard work and effort she did as far as like putting forth effort in those maps, charting these maps and everything else. So at one point in the fight, Luffy and Arlong wound up going to the top of Arlong Park, the highest room, and that's Nami's room. And I mean, they're going at it. And I apologize, before I get to that point, let me back up a little bit, because that's kind of like the ending of the fight there. With the exchange of blows between Luffy and Arlong, Arlong gets to a position to point to where he's trying to, bite Luffy. Obviously, swords, knives, anything like that, sharp will essentially cut rubber. And he's trying to bite Luffy. Obviously, he's a shark as well, so he's trying to utilize that to his advantage. Being Fishman for him, it's just the mindset of, I'm a fishman, I'm stronger than you anyway, our species are better, so I don't have to put forth much effort. And I think that was the downfall in this fight with Arlong. But it got to a pivotal point in the fight to where Luffy knocked Arlong's teeth out his mouth, and everybody was kind of shocked by that. But at the same time, Arlong was like, I don't see what's to be shocked about. I'm a shark, I can grow my teeth back, and that's what he did. Luffy was surprised, he was excited, because he's just like, yo, I can't believe y'all can do that. But after doing so, Arlong pulls, I think, about 2 more sets out, and then he puts them in his hand, and pretty much attacks Luffy. Now, Luffy's dodging, like barely, missing the teeth and the bite marks from Arlong himself, but essentially Luffy's doing a decent enough job from escaping. Getting hit a couple times, nicked here and there, then finally Arlong lands a blow. But at this particular point when he does, Luffy once again knocks Arlong's teeth out his mouth. And before Arlong lands that blow, after Arlong lands that blow, Luffy also has a set of Arlong's teeth, and he bites him as well too. Now they both yell out a pretty heavy scream, but Arlong pretty much lets him know, you're not on my level because my jaws, it's not just the teeth itself, it's also the jaws that come with. So they're fairly strong, and sharks' teeth and jaws are really, really strong. Imagine putting shark's teeth inside an alligator's mouth. Wow. Like that's scary. You feel me? It gets to a point after he says that, and Luffy kind of like challenges him. Arlong says, my jaws are fairly strong too, and he bites down on Luffy's arm, like his elbow. And Luffy, kind of like muscles his elbow a little bit as if he's trying to like make a muscle. He does that as far as like tightening his arm to resist the pain that he's feeling from Arlong's bite. And he does a good job, so good of a job that he stretches his leg up in the air to gain leverage, slams it down, and then thus rotates his hip, which brings Arlong's body around to the ground and cement, which pretty much knocks him unconscious, which makes Luffy's arm free. And they both fall to the ground exhausted. And at that point, Arlong dives into the water to gain a little bit more energy. Also, kind of like recoup, and then attack Luffy. So he does like a shark dart, hits Luffy, like just skims him a little bit. Luffy feels a little bit of damage. He keeps going back and forth. Now, at this particular point in the fight, I enjoyed this because everybody's telling Luffy like to run, to leave, hide, get away because Arlong's coming. You can't escape him. You know what I'm saying? You can't defend against it pretty much. And Luffy's just determined. Other people look at him as being foolish, as being dumb, but he's so determined because he knows he can. And the whole time, he knows he can stop him. And the whole time, he kept saying like, I'm gonna be the Pirate King, and there's no way I'm gonna lose to some fish. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's as far as like the food chain, it makes sense. Like we at the top, so they say we at the top of the food chain. So why would we lose to a fish? I mean, I understand like certain degrees as far as like fishmen. I mean, they are gonna be stronger, but at the end of the day, we're meant. Like with humankind, we're supposed to be, regardless of how much physical strength they have, we're smarter than them. You feel me? So that's the way I kind of like looked at it. I mean, it's just kind of like going forward from there. Luffy was able to stop Arlong using a defensive kind of like net, if you will, by stretching his fingers and pretty much caught a fish. How you would catch a fish, and that's what he did by catching Arlong. At that point, Arlong, I believe, kind of like got even more pissed, and it showed in his eyes. Now, for me, I feel like this is where it's two moments in here where Haki was presented. So, spoiler warning for those who don't know what Haki is. Again, I know what's going on in the story, so I'm just trying to like look to see like maybe this is where Oda could have also presented Haki at this position and point in the story. So there's one point with Zoro when Arlong was choking him. I believe that's in episode 41. Before Sanji dives in the water and breaks the concrete block to have Luffy escape. When Arlong's holding him, he has like this aura about himself, and it looks like Haki. Now, it's a few different type of forms of Haki, and we'll get into that when it comes to it. But for me, just looking at it, that looks like what Haki would be at its, fetal stage. So I was kind of interested in seeing that. And then Luffy as well, notices a change in Arlong after he recognizes his eyes, and Sanji pretty much voices that's the same type of look of what a Sea King gives. And we get to see that same Sea King in the anime, the one that fought Shanks. And Shanks utilized Haki then to scare him off. So I'm wondering, like, maybe potentially these Sea Kings have Haki, and you just have to have a strong enough Haki to be able to fight them, hit them, scare them off, pretty much type deal. So Luffy's aware that there's a change in Arlong because Arlong grabs him, spins him around. You see like his rubber kind of just like stretched while he's getting spun around and then like thrown to the ground. And Luffy also professes that, like that didn't hurt. As it didn't really hurt, but I can definitely tell, he's madder now. Like he's even more mad. So I feel like that might be a form of Haki, but potentially, might not be. Could just be the fact that he's even more mad, and that's why he was able to do that. But again, it got to the point to where he does the shark dart stuff. Still, he grabs his sword from inside the building after trying to attack Luffy, and Luffy gets away upside the building, and that's how they get to the top of the building, by him just like constantly like flipping up the building while Arlong's trying to like stab him continuously, or cut him rather continuously. So at the top, Luffy poses the question, like, what room is this? Because there's a lot of paper in the room. And Arlong tells him, well, this is Nami's room. This is where she did all her work, as far as like making the sea charts, the land charts, stuff like that. Pretty much, charting the whole islands that they went to. And it was a lot of them in there, And Luffy, after realizing that, he sees a pen that Nami was using, had blood all over it. So he was pissed. He was very mad. He was very upset. And he just started destroying the room. Just kicked the desk out the window, the wall, the papers as well too. Like pretty much anything you could think of in that room, he was trying to get rid of it. And Arlong recognized that, and he got pissed. Tried to cut Luffy, didn't work. He wound up breaking the sword. Also, he used this one particular move where it was like a spinning cannon, if you will, with shark teeth going at Luffy. Now, he did land the attack as far as like biting his midsection, but Luffy used Gumma Gumma no Axe, and that's where he stretched his leg up even farther this time and brought it down in a rapid fashion right across Arlong's face. And he slammed that all the way to the ground, like as hard as he could. And that brought all of Arlong Park down to the ground. So everybody pretty much had to get out, get Ghost because of the damage that Luffy did. And man, when I tell you that fight, the climax, the ending of it all was very dope. They had a celebration. That was episode 43. I believe they had a celebration. Seeing everything for 3 days, the events of what happened. So after seeing that, it was just good to get like a lot of conclusion to things. The kid early on, they had an issue in the story as far as like with the Arlong Pirates being there. He wasn't there anymore. He realized he had to grow up and move on about things. His dad wasn't there no more, but it wasn't necessarily sad about that. It was more or less the fact that he understood, his dad was gone, and he also understood that, hey, these things happen, but it's now on us to make sure that society gets better because we're taking care of ourselves. Before it was low-key the Arlong Pirates that was kind of taking care of them in a way, but now it's up for them to make sure that they honor and survive. And coming from a young guy, I feel like that was pretty dope, especially with Oda, making that in there, having them realize that. I feel like that was really good conclusion to the whole arc of things. But before Nami leaves, she pretty much made sure Bellamir's spirit was at rest. She kind of like talked to her amongst herself and just let her know, the things that was going on with her throughout the whole time, these 8 years. But now it's just like we're finally free of it all, finally free of Arlong, and we can just be at peace. So, again, with Bellamir being dead, but you can see her spirit like give Nami a little push. And that was pretty dope, like just seeing that, like, go ahead, live your life, and I enjoyed seeing that. It's just, Nami made the right decision. She didn't have to think about it or anything like that. Compared to like Usopp, never came across his mind. It's like, yep, I'm gonna be a pirate, but he didn't, he didn't think to go with them. Sanji was fighting it, because for him, he had to stay there for Zeph, but with Nami, it was like, this is a no-brainer. These guys came in, risked everything, risked their lives for me. Like, why wouldn't I want to be around people, individuals like that? Same with like my family here, but I mean, without them, that doesn't happen, so it was kind of a no-brainer for her, and I enjoyed seeing that. At the end of it all, on episode 43, she pretty much steals from everybody on the way back to the ship, but that's, cat burglar Nami, that's her thing. So they, it wasn't like, it was bittersweet, mad at her for taking everything, but at the same time, it was sad to see her go. So, but, great acquisition, one of the best navigators out there in One Piece. Straw Hats now acquired their navigator being Nami. So I'm excited to see where the series is going to go. Obviously, I know where, but, for those anime watchers and just getting to One Piece, you're going to be very, very, very excited to where the series is going to go. It's pretty much only going to be up from here. So I'm probably going to bypass the filler just to let you guys know. This might be the only filler I'll probably do in the story. And that's like Buggy's adventure. Because I feel like with the cover pages, it's still canon. So, it kind of like ties in a little bit. But Buggy pretty much after the fight with Luffy, he got sent to this, particular island or whatever. He was able to conjure up this ship that he made. Got attacked by some piranha, got to another island, only to chase this chick being like actual chicken, like chick, or bird rather, until the mama bird came, tried to serve him up for dinner. She didn't like him and spit him out. Now at this particular point in time, Straw Hat Pirates are talking amongst themselves about, you know, where potentially Buggy might be. Is he dead? You know, this, that, and the third. And he's kind of like shooting across the sky while they talking. And, you know, they just like, man, did y'all hear something? Like, nah, it wasn't me. You know, I didn't say nothing. Like, must be my imagination. So he winds up landing on the same island that Gaimon is on. And that's the same one Luffy was on before. So he flew a distance, you know. Like that bird has some lungs behind him, you know. With being there, it was kind of like the same relationship between Gaimon and Luffy. Both had a mutual respect for each other. Both pretty much, you know, still kind of want to be pirates. And both, again, offered to have Gaimon join their crew, so their respective crews. So, I thought that to be kind of like coincidental, that Luffy and Buggy both offered Gaimon, because that just shows maybe like the character of what Gaimon has and how important he may play a role in the series going forward. Don't really know yet, or he could just be a very good side character, you know. So I think that might be it at the moment, just a very good side character. But you know, who knows going forward? We may get presented Gaimon in the manga here shortly. Never know. Yeah, you know, besides that, that's pretty much where we are right now. I know he's gonna get his, just to give y'all like the wrap up of that, because I'm not going to cover that too much. And again, when we start getting into filler, I'm not really going to get into that. I'm gonna just kind of like jump to Log Town, and then gonna jump like to the Grand Line. So I'm not gonna do the whole Eyepiece arc, because that's Thousand Dragon. That's just annoying personally. Yeah, so Buggy pretty much gets his parts back, parts being his other body parts, and he's fighting off against these, what is it, the Bear Claw? Bear something, like natives that pretty much beat up his crew. So yeah, like Moji and Kabachi fight each other to see who's going to take on as far as like being the Buggy Pirates captain, and they both knock each other out for the most part. Richie comes along, the Lion, and actually gives the final blow to both of them. So the Lion becomes the captain of the Buggy Pirates. But when the natives come around, they pretty much end that quickly, and then Buggy comes in and serves up a beating along with Kabachi and Moji. So, you know, that's pretty much just reiterating and recertifying himself as far as being the Buggy Pirates captain, you know. He was saved by Alvida with leaving from Gaimon's island, because Gaimon helped them build another raft. This giant crab came up and pretty much destroyed it ASAP, but Alvida shot a cannon through Buddy's head, and she was able to save him, and they're pretty much both going after Straw Hat. So we'll get to see them here shortly, and then we'll also touch base with them later on in the series going forward. But that's pretty much it. Besides the hockey thing, it wasn't really anything else. I would just watch, if you haven't watched the Fishman arc, meaning like if you watch this and haven't watched Kokiyashi arc as far as like with Nami, or you've watched this and haven't watched the Fishman, I will watch both, because they tie in together, and the emotions in both of those arcs are done very well. Fishman's drawn out a little too long for me, but it's still a pretty good arc nonetheless. So but yeah, you know, always like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what you guys thought of the video, what you guys think about One Piece so far, if you're enjoying the series, what, you know, you thought some things that seem a little cliche, or what, you know, just what your thoughts on the series are so far. But always remember, this is the channel that's going to bring you content, whether truth or lie. Show discernment to know if it's fact, but it's always fact because it's coming from Nonsense Now. All right, y'all be safe out there. Peace.